to play the game?
If you smell,
Shock the system.
Break it down.
What's going down? Thor, Baseboy Banner, Kyle Olson, Knocked Out Entertainment. Baseboy Banner is the channel. Wrestling in the Basement's the show. We're back. We're back again. It's been a month or so, right?
Yeah, about a month.
September. It was all out.
Yeah, it was all out, and so much has happened since.
Right, and that was only like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was fine. There's only been like
Or 4
three shows debuting, a pay-per-view, and
There's only like 72 hours of wrestling per week now, so
Yeah.
it's a manageable amount.
yeah, it's fine. I technically haven't watched like the last episode of or the last show for New Japan, even though I was super excited.
Oh, last show, I haven't watched Destruction.
Oh, jeez.
I haven't even watched. I'm behind.
I haven't watched King of Pro Wrestling.
Oh
Was
yeah,
the last one. Yeah.
Nope. Like I said,
and then Destruction was before that.
the one
so.
before that. That's where I am. That's where my life is right now.
Yeah.
I haven't watched Raw or SmackDown, and I don't even want to say how many long weeks.
That's okay.
I didn't see either draft episode.
That's fine.
There won't be a lot of WWE talk. I mean, there will be if you.
There will be if you
NXT.
If you include NXT.
There'll be lots of NXT talk in this, and then AEW. I mean, that's the antithesis of this video is going to be our discussion of the first 3 weeks of the head-to-head battles for AEW and NXT. And we're not going to talk about ratings as much.
No,
We'll speak on it, but it's not going to be our focal point.
Yeah.
Our focal point is going to be the in-ring action, the look of the two shows, the pacing of the two shows, all that sort of stuff. Comparison, contrasting, what we like, what we didn't like, and then we'll touch on whatever random stuff we get to at the end.
Yeah.
You know, Seth Rollins burning the Firefly Funhouse.
Yeah, it was not good.
Boo. I didn't watch Raw, but I see things.
Yeah,
I
you see things. It's kind of impossible as a wrestling fan to not see some things. It's like, okay, wow, that happened.
Yeah.
You know?
There were still some prizes in the draft. We'll talk about the draft. How are we gonna start? We didn't even discuss this, but should we just start with the first week, or should we?
Yeah, let's go. Well, let's start with kind of AEW, kind of just in general, like how Dynamite's been going since the premiere. I mean, we've now had 3 weeks of the show to kind of gauge like what they're doing well, what they, maybe can slack off on and not do as often. But yeah, the first 3 episodes of Dynamite have all had at least like 1 or 2 solid matches.
Yeah, every episode of Dynamite's had a couple solid matches.
Yeah.
Of the 3 episodes so far, what would you say has been your favorite of the 3?
So of Dynamite itself,
Just the 3 Dynamite episodes.
yeah, just the 3 Dynamite episodes. Probably the Young Bucks and Private Party from last week.
The second episode.
Yeah.
I think that's the strongest episode yet too.
Yeah.
I think they stumbled. I won't say they stumbled out of the gate, but the first show had an equal amount of, I would say, low points as high points.
Yes.
For me, right? Like the Jay and Silent Bob stuff was awful. I understand why every show premieres with a big schmoz, and I'm not even going to say that as a negative, because NXT did it with their first show on USA. Dynamite did it. SmackDown, Raw have done it so many times I can't even count. So I get it. I understand why you do it. So you show everybody, all the important people get a moment to shine or whatever. But for me, that first episode, the Cody Guevara match was really good in the beginning.
Yep.
The formation of Jericho's group at the end, the end had some great parts because you broke the Omega Moxley stuff. Moxley put him through a table. There were some really high points of the show. Low points, the women's championship match for me just didn't do it. That was on that first show, and Riho beat
Rio beat Nyla Rose.
Nyla Rose, thank you.
Yeah.
That one didn't do it for me. What was it? The triple threat at the end. The triple threat at the end was the Bucks and Omega versus Ortiz and Santana.
Yeah, the 6-man.
The 6-man. And that didn't even last long because it broke down and it got a little bit of time. But there were, I don't know, for me, like I said, the first week I was like, oof. I was like, I don't know, it's all right.
Yeah. Well, and especially like in the compare contrast, it was basically going against a takeover.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. NXT had a much stronger week 1.
Yeah.
Now the ratings will say otherwise because they debuted heavy in the ratings.
Yeah.
But I think the Ingrid product, I think you just said it. I mean, they were going up against a takeover. That Riddle Cole match was the best wrestling of that night.
Yep.
By far.
Yeah.
By far, and that opened the show. And I think top to bottom, obviously NXT had a stronger show that first week.
For week 1, yep.
I almost think they've been in reverse though, and that's why I kind of didn't know how we were going to do this, but we'll kind of weave everything together.
Yeah, it's kind of like
I think AEW's gone stronger. Well,
Yes.
I think they went weaker, stronger, step down. It's going to be that ebb and flow, right?
Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
NXT to me started off like gangbusters, went real down the second one for me, except for that Walter Kushida match was great.
Yeah, the Walter Kushida match was a lot of fun.
That was great. And then the third week, again, was an okay show, but it wasn't on par, I think, with what AEW had done in the previous 2 weeks. I contribute that to putting a takeover on night 1.
Yeah.
You blow everything that first night, and then you're almost in rebuilding mode now for a couple weeks to build to things because you had so many blow-offs right away. So it was great and it didn't win them that night, technically in the ratings. It won them that night, I think, in the action and in the complete show. But then I think it hurt them the next 2 weeks. Whereas AEW did something smart. They had a good opening show, not great.
Yep.
Didn't blow everything. So they've had somewhere to go each week and have been building towards things. Whereas, NXT's rebuilding. You get what I mean?
Yep. And like this week, they had maybe too many tag team matches.
AEW?
AEW did. But that's because, they're in the middle of the tag tournament.
Right.
So they kind of needed to.
That's too bad about Luchasaurus getting hurt, tearing his Taurus hamstring. So, and not being able to wrestle. So it was Marco Stunt and
it was Marco and Jungle Boy.
Jungle Boy versus Lucha Brothers were winning that either
they
way.
were winning that regardless. So
either way, but that sucks for Luchasaurus to
Yeah.
now be out for could be weeks, could be months. I'm probably leaning more towards the 2 to 3 month range. But
yeah, probably.
who knows?
But that was weird. But back to week 1. It was a stronger show. AEW was a stronger show as it's progressed. And NXT very much feels like it's a kind of in that rebuilding process of like, hey, okay, we did everything and now recollect. Like what are our next feuds? We don't really know.
When have you seen Kushida in the cast now? He's got a black cast on.
Yeah.
He was over in Japan, or he was with, I know Tamatanga put up a picture of him, and like Balor was at his house and stuff.
Yep.
Oh, and talking about that first week at NXT, you have Balor come back.
Yeah.
You
Balor
have Ciampa come back.
Yep.
Like those were I think NXT had the highest points on that first head-to-head night when it comes to just comebacks. I mean, Jake Hagar, much as I love the guy, he's not like, oh man, Jake Hagar is in the building, no offense.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's like it was almost more of a surprise that because he wasn't advertised, like Moxley showed up.
Yeah, Moxley got a bigger pop than Hagar for sure. They were all for Mox.
And I love that direction for Moxley. Just him being the unhinged little crazy person that he is.
Yeah. Well, in the way that they keep building on that, even with like this week where him and Pac tagged.
Yeah.
And then obviously that went south. I mean, now again, the predictability is okay. Like I give them almost a pass in some of their predictability stuff. Whereas like NXT this week, Dijakovic and Keith Lee had their 4th match for the number 1 contendership of the North American title.
Which
and I also knew it was going to happen at the end of that when I saw that was very predictable, I thought, for that to happen. And, I give them less of a break, I think, because I would have rather seen a definitive winner in a one-on-one match than have the era interfere, in that case, just Roderick Strong, and then have to have a triple threat.
Yeah, I think in that case with the Keith Lee Dijakovic match, it was wishful thinking.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're going to get a winner. And, and I was even like, oh, kind of much like last week on AEW. It's like Havoc could win or Darby could win. Either way, I'm cool. And So I was thinking, Keith Lee could win or Dijakovic could win because, I mean, Dijakovic kind of is a heel, but
you could go either way. You could go either way with
and
that.
especially against Roderick Strong, it's like. So I was thinking, oh, that'll be a cool match, and then it's like, oh, it's a triple threat. Okay.
So now Roger's going to end up retaining over shenanigans.
Yeah.
Because the era can get involved now.
Yep.
So obviously, I don't know. And but I really did. I liked this week's episode of NXT as a whole better, the third week's than the second week's.
Yeah. Well, I think it was a better building show. Like last week, I think they still tried to throw like Walter and Kushida, and they still tried to.
That was the best part of the show, though. That was the show.
But it's like they tried to throw the big bombs. Like, look at this, look what we can do. Whereas this week, it might not have been as super exciting, but they kept a lot of things being able to like, okay, I can see where all of these stories are going. Literally. Every woman on the roster wants to beat Shayna Baszler.
I like how they're building that with Bianca, and I like what they're doing with Io and Rhea Ripley. I love what they're doing. The NXT women's division to me is a lot stronger and just more well developed at this point than your AEW women's roster. And that's just because they've had the time.
Yeah, like the NXT women's roster, because of, a couple... Dakota Kai and Tegan Knox coming back.
Wait, didn't they announce Tegan Knox was going to be there this week, and then she wasn't there?
She was there. She had a match.
She had a match,
and then Shayna came out after
on the third on the third one.
Yeah.
When was that? Was that early?
Right before the main.
Where was I?
Oh, did you also? So you saw the Io. Shirai
I saw the Io match.
Okay.
Yeah. I saw that when Rhea Ripley came out. I didn't see the Tegan.
It was Tegan Knox and Tanara. It was probably at most a 5-minute match, like real quick. Dakota Kai comes out, gives her a hug after the match.
I was literally sitting in the sauna watching that. I had nowhere to go. And how do I not remember? Whatever. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I missed that.
Yeah, so like, and that was also kind of interesting in the fact that, Io Shirai calls out Shayna last week. Rhea Ripley calls out Shayna. Bianca Belair calls out Shayna.
Yeah, they had that great package, great video package for Bianca Belair this week. Yeah.
Yep. They had that, but then Tegan Knox is just going to get interviewed, and then out comes Shayna. To kind of confront her.
Fatal 5-way?
They can do like a 6-pack at this point.
What about a War Games for the women?
I actually was thinking about that, and I think
women's War Games
because they have it. So you've got Shayna and the Horsewomen.
Yep.
So there's 3.
Yep.
So if you want to do your stupid, the first time they did War Games, the 3-on-3-on-3. Please don't. But like you could have somebody say like a Mia Yim turn and join the Horsewomen to take on, you already kind of have an established trio of Tegan Knox, Dakota Kai, and Candice LeRae.
True.
Throw in your bruiser in, actually you could do either Bianca Belair or Rhea Ripley.
Right.
Yeah, have a 4-on-4 War Games.
I'm all for that.
And also if Rhea was in the partner, you could have kind of the uneasy tension.
Okay.
Since she's the one who hurt Tegan in the Mae Young Classic.
Yeah. There's lots of storylines.
Yeah, there's so much.
And that's what NXT has. They have the storylines,
Yep.
the pre-existing. So the strength of that division it's becoming a strength again. I think again where it might have dipped at one point.
Yeah, it dipped.
And now we're coming back up. Where they had put themselves in the corner though. Shayna kind of destroyed everybody.
Yeah,
and they had to rebuild the division. Bringing Rhea Ripley over, Tegan Knox getting healthy, Dakota Kai getting healthy, reestablishing. Io Shirai as a bad guy, Candice LeRae getting the shot. They did a lot of work to get the women's division back to a credible threat to Shayna. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yeah, because like this might be the best the women's division in NXT has looked since probably the horsewomen era.
Yeah, where you got that many
know?
big names.
Yeah. Whereas it's like, okay, this is literally anybody could be credible.
Yeah.
Like,
And they could put it on any. That's the thing is you could see them putting it on any of these women.
it's like
after
you could,
Shayna.
you could put it on Bianca,
Yeah.
you could put it on Rhea, you could put it on Tegan, you could put it on Dakota, you could put it on Candice.
Because Shayna's gonna drop it. They'll bounce around down there for a little bit longer, and then as soon as Ronda Rousey's about to come back,
Yeah.
Baszler and the Horsewomen actually show up. Fox,
Yeah.
SmackDown. You know what I mean? They
Yeah,
want,
as soon as
want
Ronda
that
wants to
flavor.
come back.
Yeah, they want that flavor on. But like I said, we'll talk about the weirdness of the draft maybe a little bit later. Going back to AEW, their second show, like saying being their strongest show, the Jericho promo, La Champion.
Yeah.
You know, the Sean Spears and John Moxley match.
Yeah,
that
Sean
night.
Spears, which
that
like,
was a great match.
Like nobody's really talking about that in like a lot of the interviews and podcasts I've heard. Like kind of everybody's just glossing over that match. And I can't remember who said it on Twitter. But they basically said it's like if 2 years ago the two of these guys had this exact same match on Raw, we'd still be talking about it.
right.
Because
When they were both when they had the chance when WWE had the chance to push either guy or give them the time that they that's the thing, and that's why I think I like AEW's production and their presentation is because they do have segments, but their segments are very short and very small.
Yes.
Whereas they don't take up a ton of time. The wrestling gets to shine more.
Yep.
Whereas WWE is kind of the opposite. It's like a 50-50 split.
Yeah.
Like you can go like a 20-30 minute stretch and have no wrestling.
yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want longer matches and let's cut that back even to, 15, 20 minutes instead of 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like,
Like all of our like backstage interviews thus far on AEW, except so we've had the Jericho in-ring interview.
promo. Yeah. The one promo.
The promo.
Yep.
But even like the Moxley promo was insert during his entrance.
Right.
There's no wasted time.
Nope.
The Jimmy Havoc one was in his entrance.
Yep.
The
The only one, I mean, I guess that the Cody
they did the
vignette with Cody.
Yep.
Talking about how important it is that he beats Jericho at Full Gear, which I don't think you show that vignette when the Darby Jericho match is still to come. Like, I understand, but you could have saved it to next week.
That's actually was my exact thoughts.
Oh, really?
As like it was like this is a really good video, because I was one of the guys who was. I loved the Road to videos that Cody was producing. And that was a Road to video. Like that was the same production team, everything. That was like, nope, that's how they did it. And that's how they built up, those last two shows basically. And I loved that kind of style. But then I was just like, why is this airing this week? Like, I know it's...
Jericho's going to win.
Yeah,
like,
I know Jericho's going to win,
you don't have
but...
to telegraph it that much.
Yeah, like, don't telegraph it. Let me suspend my disbelief. Much like...
Even momentarily, right?
Yeah, much like I hate the fact that Lucha Bros are targeting SCU.
Oh, yeah. How'd you feel about the opening where they came out in pile driver Christopher Daniels and then he was stretchered out?
I didn't love it.
I didn't love it
just
either.
because of the attack, but the fact that then realizing they're on opposite ends of the bracket.
Like, yeah, they're gonna have to meet. Yeah.
Why would they want anything to do with each other unless this is building to the finals?
Did you like the SCU best friends match though? It was a good match.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
wasn't Private Party Young Bucks from the week before.
Yeah.
And I think the wrestling was so strong on that second week at AEW.
Yeah, and that's
like
the thing.
their standout matches were so much higher. Whereas like in the first episode, Pac and Hangman Page disappointed. I'm not a Hangman Page fan. I'm not there yet. I'm just not there yet.
I really liked that match, but yeah, I can see.
I'm just not there yet. And then, on this week, some of the matches just didn't really hit for me. Like the tag match with Pac and Omega and stuff. It was fine, but it wasn't a great match. You know what I mean? It was okay.
I can see that. I actually like after that match, I kind of want to see Omega and Page team. Not regularly, but more often.
Okay.
Because I thought they had a good chemistry and like good, the little like quick little double teams. Like I think it was like a sky high, and then like Hangman did his like running shooting star.
Okay.
Or it was like, oh, that's a cool combo. Like,
yeah, they did have some. They
had a couple cool things.
Moves. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That it was like, oh, you could kind of grow, like build on that in the future, and have them. Move forward, but like I said, not regularly though.
Right. Like occasionally.
Yeah, just occasionally.
And going back even episode 2, right? Havoc Darby was that week.
Yeah.
I mean, those are 4 right there between the Spears Moxley, the Darby match, the Lucha Brothers, the Private Party and the Young Bucks, and then
Darby and Havoc.
Yeah. Between those matches, I mean, and strong.
Yeah. Like the only one last week that slightly underwhelmed was the women's tag.
Women's tag. But the women's one was my favorite this week. The Dr. Britt Baker and the Riho match from this week.
Yep.
That was the best women's match that AEW's put on.
Yep.
Since in their inception.
Yeah,
any of the matches.
So far, I haven't been a big fan of Britt Baker.
Okay.
I've been a fan of Riho. But yeah, for some reason, like just Britt Baker hasn't connected with me. But even saying that, I really liked that match.
Yeah.
And thought it's like, oh wow, this is way better than I thought it would be from both women. Like I know a lot of people are giving Riho a lot of the credit, which I think she rightly deserves, but she wasn't in there against somebody who couldn't do anything though.
Right.
Like Britt actually, held her own.
Well, and look at the Nyla Rose match from night 1. Look at that singles match versus the match from last night. Yeah. I mean, Riho's in both of them. Give me the match last night every time over the match from the the one she won the championship on. I don't know. That's just for my flavor though. You know what I mean? But it's getting better. Yeah, it's getting better. And actually, speaking of last week, the live crowd last week for AEW, they were really spoiled. Yeah. Because they not only got those 4 matches that we talked about, but you said you haven't watched AEW Dark yet, right? Right. They also got a Kenny Omega versus Joey Janela match, which so far might be up there with the Cody and Dustin match for best match in AEW. Wow. It was real good. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's like an hour. You get another hour, about hour 12 minutes on YouTube for free. Yep. Yeah, because I looked at the video. I was gonna watch it, but I didn't because I watched some anime. Yeah. Or something else. It happens. Well, I didn't watch the week 2 of AEW till yesterday, and then I watched week 3 that night, and then so my break in between was anime. Just to, I need a palate cleanser. No, that's and then I watched NXT this morning. Yeah, that was one of the podcasts, Voices of Wrestling. One of the hosts actually said he's now starting to watch AEW Wednesday and then watch NXT Thursday morning because he wants the separation, because he realized he was being way too harsh on NXT, being the direct comparison right afterwards. Okay. Especially last week, the super hot angle to finish the show. Yeah. And then it's
okay, now I got to start NXT.
Yeah. Which the opening part, until you got to the Kushida Walter stuff, was not bad, but it wasn't, it wasn't amazing. I mean, I'm trying to think of some of the matches that happened early in last week's NXT, and I'm drawing a blank right now.
Yeah.
So
I can't even remember.
No, the only standouts from NXT, I mean, week 1 from NXT was just all fire.
Yeah, it was all crazy.
Takeover. And then, Street Profits are gone now, huh? They're
Street
Raw.
Profits are on Raw with a mystery partner.
Umberto Carrillo got drafted to
Carrillo
Raw.
They're just massacring the 205 Live
205
roster.
Live is dead. They canceled it the last 3 weeks or 2 weeks.
It was on last week.
No, like a best
It was
of.
on. No, it was on after SmackDown. It's airing Friday nights now.
No, I thought they canceled it again. I thought they canceled it both weeks.
They at least had them. They had matches.
The Cruiserweight title is now the NXT Cruiserweight title. Oh, the Leo Rush. You know what? I take that back.
Yeah, Leo Rush.
Drew Gulak match from week 2. That was good too.
That was
good.
Yeah.
Dang it. It takes a minute. That's why we talk it out.
Yeah.
But no, that was good. NXT's had higher. Their peaks are higher, but their lows are lower.
Yeah.
AEW's been a consistent, good to great, with their lows, being more predominant in the first week than I think they were in weeks 2 and week 3. Just for my money. But I have been watching, and that's the thing we talked about when we were talking about Dynamite leading up to it. I think we did it on. I don't know, one of the videos over the summer. We talked about how would my retention
right after
be?
all out,
Or how would the retention be? Would they be able to retain? Now I didn't get a chance to look at last night's ratings yet, but the first 2 weeks, and we'll just touch on ratings. They did 1,000,004.
Yep.
Week 1, they did 1,000,002 week 2.
Which was also going against
baseball.
two game 5s.
Yeah, baseball.
Yeah.
Whatever. Sports ball is not going to distract most wrestling fans. Some maybe.
Some.
Not a ton. And then NXT had 890K week 1 and 700 some K. They took a less of a dip from week 1 to week 2 than AEW did. Let's see if I can look up week 3 real quick.
The interesting, if it's even out.
It normally comes out this morning.
It does come out in the morning. Okay.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing with the first week of AEW, so they had 1.4, you said, right?
Yeah, 1.4 million. Yep.
Do you know what they're rating just in the 18 to 34 demographic was?
600,000 or something like that, or 600.
875,000. Pretty much the exact total rating
7
of
days ago.
NXT.
Oh, okay. I guess it's too early in the morning to get the ratings from last night. So we won't be able to get last night's ratings, but it doesn't matter. AEW again, I think, had the better show last night.
Yeah.
Then NXT, and then obviously hands down the second week. So we'll see where week 4 goes. Because now you got Pac, Moxley, Pac. They started calling it's Pac now because JR says Pac.
Yeah.
Which I don't love, but Pac, because I always think Pac-12, then I'm thinking football. It's Oregon, whatever. Pac and Moxley are going to go next week, which I think is a little too early to have the. I mean, I guess you got to give away something.
Yeah, but that's a big match, and I kind of love it.
It is,
and then you got the first semifinals.
I think they're
right?
doing both next week.
They're doing both of them next week. Okay,
I think. Don't quote me on that though.
I know at least one of the semifinals for the tag tournament.
Private Party versus Lucha Bros, and then SCU versus
Dark Order.
Dark Order. That's next week.
That's next week.
That one's next week for sure. Ugh. Dark Order.
Yeah,
not my favorite. We'll see. Jericho. So how you like Inner Circle? How do you like that?
I like
Going back to Jake Hagar. The baddest MMA fighter on the planet, as Chris Jericho said. In the wrestling business, I'm like, dude, Cain Velasquez and Brock Lesnar would definitely have something else to say about that.
Yeah.
Even that Tyson Fury guy, who I've never actually seen box, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Do you know him? Are you familiar?
No, I don't watch the last boxing.
Saudi Arabia, here we come again.
The last boxing fight I watched was McGregor and
Floyd. Little sucker.
Yeah.
Got your money.
Yep.
Got your money.
So
Last boxing match I watched was Tyson versus Buster Douglas back in the 90s.
Jesus.
Seriously, like fully, like that. I actually remember going to a party. My parents brought me to like a party, or I was at somehow I was at a party where that fight was on. That's the last fight I physically can remember. Seeing like in real life. That's not like a fight night boxing match from the the early 2000s when I was Roy Jones Jr. knocking everybody out. Wham! All right, sorry, I digress.
But yeah, so my thoughts on the Inner Circle. As my buddy, me and my friend Scott Story, local wrestler around here, the Never Ending Scott Story.
Nice.
Yeah.
Atreyu.
Yep. He was actually thinking of naming one of his moves Atreyu at one point, and we got more. We ended up doing more book puns, like a plot twist and like that kind of stuff. But so he and I were watching, and the Inner Circle comes out at the end, and it was just like, I like all these guys, and we pointed out it's like Sammy Guevara has such a punchable face. Like between his face and his hair, and like even last night with the sunglasses on, it's like I hate him. Yep. I hate him so much.
Yep. And he's shredded.
And he's doing such a good job at it.
He is. No, and see, this is where I don't mind Hagar if they're gonna put him in the Arn Anderson role of the quiet, like
he's just
like the quiet enforcer dude.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not gonna push him. He's not gonna be like main eventing. Great.
Well, because nobody's going to get a word in edgewise in any of those promos with Jericho standing there anyway. So, he doesn't need to talk. Guevara talks once in a while.
He can do his thing.
But, he can do his thing.
And you can have Ortiz and Santana do their own like cuts when they have matches and stuff. But even after their match, didn't Jericho come on the big screen and was like, "That's my boys." Yeah, I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, he cut their promo for them to challenge the Young Bucks, which Full Gear is looking great.
That's gonna be a Full Gear match, right?
Yeah, that's gonna be once the Young Bucks accept.
Ooh,
if they accept, and it's like,
who knows?
Great. Which I'm not gonna be able to watch Full Gear, so I don't care.
When's Full Gear?
November 9th.
Ooh.
Which is during GalaxyCon, so I'll be busy.
Oof, undetermined.
Yeah.
Undetermined if I'll be watching it or not. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. $50 is a lot of dollars.
Yeah.
And I just bought TLC tickets for December 15th for WWE. As much shit as I'm talking about WWE on this show, I bought tickets for TLC. I mean, they're going to be in Minneapolis. So, and Brian, everyone knows Brian if you're watching the channel. He's going to his first wrestling show, TLC. It's going to be amazing. So we switch gears to some WWE. The draft happened.
Yeah.
And a lot of weird people went to weird places. The Fiend is now on SmackDown.
The Fiend's on SmackDown, but Seth Rollins is still feuding with him for some reason.
They're going to have a Falls Count Anywhere match at Crown Jewel. Crown Jewel is shaping up. Team Hogan, Team Flair.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury and Braun Strowman. Cain Velasquez. You know what? Did you hear how much Tyson Fury's making for the Saudi show?
Probably way too much.
Take one guess.
3?
15. 15 milli. If you can get it. Some Saudi prince is like, I want to see it. Here's 15 million. Ridiculous. Yep. Absolutely ridiculous. Cain Velasquez and Brock Lesnar. Did Cain Velasquez he didn't get drafted, right?
No, he didn't get drafted. He's going for the WWE championship.
Does he win it on his first shot?
No, I hope not.
Yep. 100%. Oh yeah. I
know it's on Fox, but
no, this is gonna be on the network.
No, but in general, my level of
Did you see him?
Excitement
Did you
for
see him in
SmackDown is
AAA
terrible.
though? Did you see his AAA match?
I mean, it was fine, but he was in a 6-man.
He did a Hurricane Rana.
Yeah, he did a couple cool spots, but he was in there with Cody and Psycho Clown, who are really good. Like, Psycho Clown is way better than people give him credit
Brock Lesnar
for.
is a great wrestler. He's a national champion. He's been around for ages.
This match better not go longer than 5 minutes.
Same with the Tyson Fury Braun though.
Yeah.
That was like 10 minutes.
That's why you've got the Hogan and Flair match.
That's why you got the biggest tag team turmoil of all time. That's going to be amazing.
Well, but it's the Hogan and Flair match. I think is elimination, so that thing is probably going to take an hour.
Minutes. Yeah. You think they'll end up fight? You think they'll end up actually? You think Hogan will hit a leg drop?
No, they probably will. They'll have like a pull apart.
Does Seth pull double duty and still do that match and do the Fiend in a Falls Count Anywhere?
That's the weird thing. Like, why?
He's Seth freaking Rollins, man.
He is, and if it's elimination, then you have him eliminated first because of, and then the baby faces have to come from behind and valiantly overcome the odds because that's what WWE does.
Rusev, Ricochet are on his team, and that's all they've announced. Then you got Corbin, Lashley,
Nakamura,
yeah, and then the Viper.
Yep.
And RKO, Randall Keith.
Yeah. Which, like, the Flair team looks good.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it.
I hate the Bobby Lashley storyline. But
you don't like that?
Oh, I despise it.
Dude, when she was in the spa this week, and she was like, I like it harder and deeper. You didn't like that? You didn't like that?
It was terrible.
She was talking to a masseuse, by the way. Don't have dirty minds, you awful people. You didn't like that?
No.
I'm just kidding. It's been awful.
Yeah.
It's been, that's, people want Attitude Era stuff. That's Attitude Era.
Yeah, but it's really
bad
terribly,
Attitude Era.
Terribly done Attitude Era, though.
Nevertheless, how do you feel about, we'll just go kind of quick fire set parts. So who do you want to face Cole first? Ciampa or Balor? Or Velveteen Dream, since they took him out now and beat him up with that USB drive footage.
Yeah, which was weird.
Kyle O'Reilly gave it to Morrow. Yeah, that was super. Well, it was because I'm always like, how's there always a camera backstage at the right time when these things happen?
Yeah.
So, but my question was, who is running the camera?
Yeah.
Is there a fifth member, or was it O'Reilly?
Yeah, was all four of them?
Because all four of them were on camera at one point, and I thought when Riley turned, it didn't look like he was holding the camera on himself.
Yeah, it could have maybe been. And this would have been more of an AEW move, but when the Horsemen beat up Dusty Rhodes, like at like a warehouse or whatever it was, like when they broke his arm, and the memorable quote of as they're going to swing, Dusty said, "Make it good." Basically because he was directing it,
right?
Which that's also the weird. So he says make it good, pretty much like make it look good, but also there's an old Western that Dusty was actually trying to quote. That it was like make it good because I'm going to come back from this and
okay.
Because you better put me down and make it good and actually put me down or I'm going to come back and get you.
Right.
And he did. But the Horsemen paid a camera guy to videotape it.
Nice. Like a freelancer.
Yeah.
You want a couple bucks?
Yep. And it would be hilarious if that's like the attention to detail, and if they went into that, it's like no, Undisputed Era paid a camera guy to
like get that
film this.
Yeah. That would be kind of nice. Actually, I wouldn't mind that. They have their own camera guy.
Yeah,
because they're always mad. They're so mad. And then Regal, dude, I love. They should not replace Regal as the head of NXT.
Regal should never. Until he wants to quit. He should,
or at least, or they want to move into like a Raw or a SmackDown just to make it better. But he's so good in that role.
He's so good. Well, plus, so why he's there? He also is like one of their head talent scouts,
right?
So that's why he's perfect for NXT because he knows, like he's the one who scouted all of these guys, so he knows.
Circling back around, Ciampa or your boy Finn Balor. Who do you got? Who do you want to face Cole first, and who do you think they will face, or do you think they'll do a triple threat?
I think it would be kind of disappointing if Ciampa didn't win the title, Because that was also one of the things we didn't touch on when Ciampa came back, and it was great. And
That
this was
that opening night.
yeah, the opening night, and the attention to detail, which I know was probably all him.
Him and Hunter.
He did not look at Adam Cole. He was just staring at Goldie. He was just staring at the title. It's like, that's mine.
Yeah, he never lost it.
So good.
Well, and then in week 2 when he was like, Goldie, Daddy's home.
Yeah.
Dude, so good.
So good.
So good.
But I don't want Ciampa to go for the title and lose.
Okay.
So maybe you have Balor go for it first.
Okay.
And but like, as I was thinking, maybe one of them is the Survivor Series takeover, and one of them is the Rumble takeover.
Well, War Games is the Survivor Series takeover. The November takeover is War Games.
It will be War Games,
Yep.
but they can still have a title match.
They could.
If Undisputed Era, for once, isn't part of War Games. Like if we say,
I think I think they probably hold off then.
Yeah.
And see that being that War Games is next, I think we don't get I don't think we get a title match for a little while.
Yeah. So then so for War Games, then do you think it's Undisputed Era versus, I mean, at this point we basically have a ready-made team of
Ciampa, Balor, Dream
and Gargano. Probably.
Yeah. Or Keith Lee or whoever.
Yeah.
Matt Riddle. You could throw
Yeah.
Matt Riddle in that mix. You could throw a lot of people in that mix. That's why it's, who? Oh yeah. Well, so we won't get a tag title match at War Games.
Yeah,
either,
that's the other thing of like why.
Well, who's the other tag teams in NXT right now?
Name
a
the
tag team in
problem.
NXT. That's name
there's
one other tag team.
Everrise.
Forgotten Sons.
Yeah, Forgotten Sons. I mean, you got Lorcan and Birch.
Okay.
Breezango.
Oh, Breezango. Okay. All right. Yeah, the construction worker.
Yeah, it very much. It's like Undisputed Era, and then everybody else. Is really how
their tag
how
division is the
feels.
same as the women's was back when Baszler beat everybody.
Yep.
And they have to kind of rebuild some tag teams.
Yeah.
To build a credible threat to those belts.
Yeah.
Because now with Street Profits gone, I don't think you really have one.
Yeah,
at least not a credible threat.
Yeah, like the next closest team it would be like Imperium.
Ooh, Imperium. Yeah.
But like, I don't think you do, because
Did they beat Lorcan and Birch? Imperium?
Yes,
Yeah,
they did.
Yeah. Because it was Eichner and Dragunov versus.
It was Eichner and Barthel.
Oh, Barthel. That's right.
Yeah,
They all look white and European. It's hard to tell them apart. So
except Alexander Wolf, because he looks crazy.
yeah, was he there?
Yeah, he was there.
Oh.
He was there. Walter wasn't there.
Oh, Walter and Dragunov's not even in Imperium.
No,
that's right.
yeah. I was like,
know what
why
I'm
did
doing.
you bring?
I know what I'm talking about.
I was like, Dragunov's been feuding with Imperium.
Right. Yeah, he's like his own.
Yeah, he's just his
person.
own crazy psycho Russian.
You been watching NXT UK?
No. I watched
I only watched the takeovers.
Yeah, I watched the Tegan Knox and Kaylee Ray. I always have to over pronunciate it because then otherwise I say Kylie Ray,
which is another wrestler. Lots of Rays.
But I watched that match and then that was it for NXT UK.
I watched both takeovers and that's it for
Okay.
NXT UK. I got so little time.
Yeah.
So little time. Did you watch Destruction? I know you didn't want Jay White to win the Intercontinental Championship.
Actually.
Because isn't that where Jay White wins it?
And then he won it anyway.
Yeah, he beat Naito. But
Yeah,
then
he
did
beat
Naito
Naito.
beat him and take it back?
Not
Or is
yet.
He still the
He's still the IC
I'm so
title.
behind.
Yeah.
I think I've never finished Royal Quest.
Okay.
I did finish the G1.
Oh, good. You finally finished the G1.
Middle of September.
It's fine.
Middle of September, end of
Ospreay's
September.
now started 2 other tournaments since then.
The Super J, right?
Yeah.
And then
Will Ospreay has been and most likely will be in every tournament New Japan does this year.
although El Phantasmo, did you see the El Phantasmo when he hits him with the hidden blade but in the face?
Yeah.
Was that from the King of?
That was from King of Pro Wrestling.
King of Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
Oof. I might just have to skip Destruction. Maybe I'll just watch Naito Jay White match.
At least just watch the second half of all the shows, and skip all the tags.
Here's the thing I actually like about New Japan World.
Yeah.
Is if you wait long enough, they break the whole thing down into its individual matches. And if you go to stuff that's newer, they actually have the English and the Japanese. Because I tried to watch some older stuff because I was trying to look up some Shibata stuff, and you gotta really they only had English commentary for
it was before
very specific events.
Yeah, it was before they really just kind of threw money at Kevin Kelly.
So at this point, it's if you want anything before, I'd say 2015-ish.
Yeah, and even so, even the hot Okada run, that started in 2012 or 2013. I always forget which, but yeah, up until Wrestle Kingdom 9 was the first show that had English commentary on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then since then, because here's the weird thing with New Japan World is they don't technically have the rights to the Access TV commentary for those shows because it was done through Access TV. They basically gave them the rights to use their footage and then put commentary on it, but then they don't get those rights back, which is why now
it's Kevin Kelly and Rocky.
It's Kevin Kelly and Rocky and Chris Charlton and whoever or Gino Bandito or who actually does a pretty decent job.
Can I get in there on that rotation? I
mean, there's enough people.
I got some free time. If you guys need a fill in New Japan, hit me up.
Yeah.
I'll fly over for a month, 2 months.
But then Super J-Cup didn't have English commentary either.
Seriously?
Yeah.
This year's?
Yeah.
Sons of bitches.
It did, but it was post. And much like the Hammerstein Ballroom show that they just did, didn't have English commentary, I think, until last week.
Yeah, they do weird that. I'm just glad at least they have a majority of it.
Yes.
'Cause I bought I get New Japan back in January.
Yeah, because I think you got it
for the first for Wrestle Kingdom.
Yep.
And then I've kept it, and I said I was only going to keep it for a month or two, and now we're 6 months in. I think I'm still hiding that from my wife that I still pay for that. Let's not talk. She don't watch my videos. I ain't even worried about it. Puff my chest out.
It's $10.
It's not even $10.
Not
it's
even
9 something. That's how I justify it.
Yeah.
Although Disney Plus right around the corner. This isn't based on my banner. We don't even need to go there. But it's getting done. It's $69.99 for the year. Okay, back to wrestling. So Andrade, Aleister Black, all these people went to Raw that I did not expect.
Yeah.
They didn't really take. New Day stayed on SmackDown, which I thought was weird. Daniel Bryan stayed on SmackDown.
Yeah, well, I mean, SmackDown's on Fox now.
Well, how do you feel about them doing Kofi dirty like that?
I didn't love it. My roommate actually absolutely hated it.
Yeah, a lot of people did.
He basically has kind of sworn off SmackDown at this point because he was like, yeah, if Kofi loses, I might be done for a while. I was like, I'm okay with that.
9-second F5 Dunzo. That's dirty.
Yeah,
that's dirty.
He'll occasionally watch Raw with me still, and watches AEW and NXT with me, but. Yeah, SmackDown, I've been watching by myself.
I've watched since SmackDown started on Fox. I've watched 30 minutes, 25 at most.
Yeah, well, like we said, we were talking beforehand, and then we quickly cut it off because we realized, nope, we got to actually save this. The Bailey Charlotte match was good though, and the Bailey heel turn
when she came out with the chopped hair with the bob and the baseball bat with the razor blades in it. And cut the Bailey buddies.
Yeah, cut open the Bailey buddies.
Wow, she destroyed a lot of children's dreams in that segment.
It makes me completely hate that she dropped the title in the first place.
But then she got it right back.
But it's oh great, now Charlotte.
That was her snapping point, Kyle.
It
Come on.
was, but
Corey Graves told you it.
Charlotte's a 10-time women's champion now, and 3 of them have maybe mattered.
So she's on Raw now.
Yeah.
Because Vince has a new thing. He doesn't break up couples.
Yeah.
Because, he doesn't want people to get mad and leave the company because there's actually places they can go now.
Yep. Yeah, so he's keeping all the real life couples together.
Alistair and Selena are both on Raw.
Yep.
Andrade and Charlotte are both
which
on
I
Raw.
kind of love the fact that because of like Alistair and Zelina being an on-screen duo, both of their partners have to
Ricochet's
come
on
with.
Raw. Buddy Murphy's on Raw. Cedric Alexander's on Raw. I think Ali's on Raw.
Ali's on SmackDown.
SmackDown, that's what I meant. That's what I said.
Well, and actually
Braun,
that was one I was disappointed in. Actually, was
what's Braun on?
Braun's I don't even
SmackDown.
remember.
Miz is on SmackDown. Elias is on SmackDown.
Okay.
KO's back on Raw. I think.
Did he even get drafted? I don't.
Yeah, he got drafted. Nakamura's still on SmackDown. With Sami Zayn.
Yeah, even though Sami Zayn never got drafted, he was just
he's a package.
a package deal,
Yeah.
which I'm glad they didn't break them up.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with that. Rude and Ziggler are SmackDown now.
Yeah, which fine.
But that doesn't make any sense. Like, I feel like the stronger roster is Raw's roster.
Yeah, well,
But if you want SmackDown to be the flagship show,
yeah,
like the OC's on.
the OC's on Raw. Yeah,
Raw. What?
that's why they kept.
What does SmackDown have? Nothing.
New Day, Ali, Lesnar, Bryan. They got Reigns.
Oh, great!
Yeah.
So glad. It's depressing.
Yeah,
I don't
SmackDown.
have any of the wrestlers that I want to watch.
Yeah, SmackDown. I think for me, I'm really hoping on Bryan and Ali just
Bruce Pritchard. Hey,
killing it.
Now you got Bruce Pritchard and no
Yes.
more Eric Bischoff, which I think is a good thing.
Well, from what I've heard, Pritchard was basically running the show anyway.
Because
Bischoff
Bischoff was in
didn't do
catering
anything,
and didn't
yeah.
even know who people's names were. And said he hadn't watched the product in like a decade.
Yeah.
So he didn't even know any of the new wrestlers, which shows if that's the wrestlers you picked for your roster and you let Paul Heyman just get all the flavor.
Yeah.
Even if you have the Fiend, which they need, I really think you're going to have them on both. I think Bray's going to be on Raw and like the Fiend's going to be on SmackDown, which doesn't even make sense. Or why even draft him? Why not just let him be an entity that goes where he wants to go?
Yeah. Yeah, kind of like the Undertaker, who will just appear when he appears.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Taker appears when he appears. Like
There's lots of free agents.
yeah. Well, they've drafted some of them.
I think Cesaro goes
online.
back down to NXT.
Cesaro went to Raw, I believe. No, SmackDown, I think. Yeah.
When's Sheamus coming back?
When's
When's
maybe
that?
never.
Okay, hey, when is the dude from New Japan coming back that we talked about like 3-4 months ago?
Hiromu?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
because you said he was healthy. I heard he was healthy. They even referenced him a bunch of times, and it like seemed like he was coming back, but then just dude hasn't come back.
Yeah.
Oh, did you hear Okada said he will defend the title on both nights of Wrestle Kingdom?
Yeah. Because it's
I know
Okada.
you called that like a couple months ago. You're like, he's going to do it on both nights, and that's when they're going to have. You think Naito and him on the second night, and him and Ibushi on the first night?
Yeah, well, because they signed after King of Pro Wrestling, they signed Okada and Ibushi for night one, for sure, and for January 4th, which is the day I will just not get any sleep. Thanks. I'm going to be so tired, but
Because isn't that a first show? That's why. Oh yeah, you got the first.
Yeah. No. So, and it's January, so I'll be prepared by then. But it will literally be WrestlePalooza 16 is January 3rd.
Yep.
If I'm lucky. Oh, actually, we don't need to. We've got 2 nights in a row, so we don't need to tear the ring down.
Yeah.
We're going to leave it up, which would be great. and I can leave all my production stuff up, which is always way too much stuff to take down. But it will be January 3rd. Probably hit the after party. Bar close. Stay up.
Watch night
one of Wrestle Kingdom.
Try to get some sleep.
Attempt to sleep. Get back to the venue at probably 4.
Night
for
two
night 2 of
WrestlePalooza.
WrestlePalooza.
After party. Bar close. Stay up for Wrestle Kingdom night 2.
Yeah.
Sleep for 3 days.
Yes, I was like just out. With my luck, I'll have to like work on Monday or something. It's like, okay, thanks. That sucks.
That's something to look forward to, though.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun time for you. I'll just be watching Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
And not on live either. I'll just wake up and later. Like I'll have to do.
Yeah.
Because my luck, I'll probably be employed at that point. I'll probably have a job to go to. I would assume. I'm really whatever. We don't digress. So NXT, AEW. Right now AEW's winning.
Yeah, AEW's winning.
But NXT
I do so one of the things we didn't talk about NXT AEW basically made a star in 2 weeks with Darby.
Oh yeah.
Like he went from kind of good guy on the roster to like I want him to eventually.
I don't know about 2 weeks. I think they've been building him since him and Cody went to the
draw. Yep.
Then him and the Cracker Barrel Blitz or whatever they called that
Cracker
match.
Barrel Clash. Yeah.
Then the couple weeks. But I see what you're saying.
But
to like the masses.
They went from upper mid card guy to I want him to eventually beat Jericho.
You think so?
I want maybe not for the title.
Yeah.
But I want Jericho's first like program after losing the title to whoever is against Darby.
Did you finally notice in the side there where they have the records?
Yeah, the records.
You see that?
Yep.
So do they have a singles? I was looking at it. Do they have a singles and a tag team record?
Okay, so they've got, it'll depend on, and they've said this in interviews, the match type that they're going into.
Okay.
So like singles or a tag team. They'll have your record for that. If you have a record for that, as like like Moxley. Moxley technically now is like 1-1,
right?
Because the lights out match didn't count for
the dark matches.
Yeah.
Oh, was he
the dark match? No, his like unsanctioned. Brawl with Janela.
Him and Janela. Yeah.
Because that was why his overall record was 0-0.
Oh, okay.
Last week or 2 weeks ago. And then so he'd be 1-0 in singles matches, and he was 0-0 in tag matches because this week was a tag match.
He lost. Technically. Yeah. Well, not technically.
Yeah, he lost.
Yeah, he lost. He took the out.
So then his overall, his singles he's still undefeated, but overall he's 1-1.
He got stripped of the U.S. title, the the Japanese one.
Yeah, the IWGP United States Championship match.
Because of the typhoon.
Yeah, it was. And I love the conspiracy theory of like AEW didn't let him travel and and it's like
there was a typhoon.
It was a typhoon.
This guy was purple.
He also wasn't the only guy who missed that show.
Zack Sabre Jr.
Zack Sabre Jr. missed it. Kevin Kelly apparently got there 10 minutes ahead of the show.
Holy buckets!
Yeah. So
when you're a professional like Kevin Kelly, though,
I mean he was doing his prep and everything, right. On the thing. But yeah, he got to the building 10 minutes
prior.
10 minutes prior to the show.
That's
which like
it's cutting it close.
I don't know what they would have done. Because like they have that roster of commentators,
right?
But they have that roster of colored commentators and translators.
Yep, they don't really have a replacement for Kevin Kelly. Yeah, they really don't.
Yeah,
I'm available. Just kidding. I'm not. I can't live in Japan as much as I would like to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the World of Wrestling's been absolutely insane.
It's been insane. And that's like not even counting like you said you haven't watched AEW Dark.
Nope.
Which both weeks have been really good.
Or New
It's
Japan.
only an hour on YouTube. Another show that's actually pretty decent is NWA
Power. I knew you were gonna say that. Everyone's talking about that show. It's
so
like a throwback.
Fun. It's so much of a throwback.
That's Jim Cornette's.
It's NWA. So it was Dave Lagana, who used to be the head writer for SmackDown.
Okay.
So he was the head writer for SmackDown, like right after. So Heyman did like, Mike. Heyman did like the SmackDown 6 era.
Okay.
You know, that era. Yeah. And then the writer to take over, I think a little bit after him. So this was like 05, 06.
Okay.
Was this guy named Dave Lagana.
Oh.
And Lagana took over. And then when Vince and Heyman had their falling out over ECW.
Yeah.
He took over ECW.
Okay.
And then after a few years left WWE, he worked for Ring of Honor for a little bit, and then he was in TNA.
Okay.
When Billy Corgan started investing in the company, him and Corgan got pretty close.
Okay.
So when TNA kind of screwed over Billy Corgan, Billy still wanted to be involved in the wrestling business.
Yeah.
So he bought the rights to the National Wrestling Alliance.
Okay.
And basically is like, and Lagana and him started doing this series called 10 Pounds of Gold. Because that's what they called the NWA title in the old days, and I love the fact that
it's the territory days.
Yeah, it's the same design for the belt,
right?
Too, which is so classic, and I love it.
Nick Aldis still the champion.
Yeah, Nick Aldis is the champ. Like for people who knew, like Cody beat him at All In, and then a month or two later, they had a rematch it was NWA's 75th anniversary. They had a rematch on that show. It was 2 out of 3 falls match. Aldis won it back and has had it since.
Nice.
And yeah, it's just old school, like
studio style.
Studio style.
Yeah.
Like
That's what I've heard.
It's studio that probably holds like 300 people, if that. Like
Jeez.
probably 200. And yeah, it's shot like it looks like the old Georgia Championship Wrestling Saturday night 605 shows.
Crazy.
Which then is
that available online?
It's on YouTube. It's
on YouTube.
It streams.
Free
it's
for
actually
YouTube. Wow.
like this week it was perfect. Like if you want more wrestling to watch.
Oh yeah, I mean who doesn't need more wrestling to watch?
If you want more actually fun wrestling to watch, It's so it airs live on YouTube, and then obviously there's the archive. But given how old school it is, it airs on Tuesdays at 6:05.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Which is perfect because AEW Dark this is Eastern time. AEW Dark starts at 7
right.
Eastern time on Tuesday.
That's awesome. So it's kind of like the lead in.
So you can literally watch Power and then change over and watch Dark.
And then Wednesday comes and you got a new AEW.
Yeah,
Man. It is a good time to be a wrestling fan. It is golden era of wrestling
Yeah, it's
fandom.
like that was actually Eric Cannon said like basically right now like wrestling is kind of like, I'm paraphrasing because he'll kill me if I misquoted him. AEW is kind of like, or wrestling right now is kind of like pizza. Like everybody can like, you just get your own, flavor that you like and enjoy it.
And then pick and choose. Yeah, you don't have to like, I mean, you don't have to like, I only watch this. You can watch everything.
Yeah.
You don't have to watch all of everything. You can digest what parts you want to digest.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to watch all of NXT. Just go back and watch like the Walter match or the Leo Rush match, or just maybe the first week watch the whole thing. Or if you don't like AEW, but go back and watch like that Private Party Bucks match, or go
Yeah.
back and watch Darby and Havoc, or even the Spears and Moxley match, things
Yeah.
like that. You know what I mean? Like, go back and just take those little pieces out, because that's the fun of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like there's so much good out there that's kind of why like we kind of glossed over the negative of like, I didn't really like that. Well, whatever. Let's talk about what we liked.
There's so much to enjoy. Why focus on the stuff we didn't like
Yep.
when there's so much goodness to just ingest and fill your body with, good wrestling goodness.
Yep.
So I'm Thor. That's Kyle. Until the next one, you know what to do. You know where to do it. Something like that. Like, share, subscribe, that kind of crap. Deuces. Say goodbye, Kyle.
Bye.